Hello, everybody. How are we?
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday to you. Happy Thursday. Let's move this way, or we can move the whole camera. I guess I don't like to see the dark corner. I don't know. People are saying they do this every time. Fidget with the camera. It's gonna be perfect. We're gonna cut this part out. Well, anyway. Greetings, Matt and Paul from Virginia. John Helper, how are ya? Like
Buenas
Lisa.
noches. Brian Penn in
Hey,
Farallon.
Brian, how are you? When are you coming to Boquete?
Soon. They reached
Oh,
out.
no, you are
They're
too.
going
That's right. I saw that.
Oscar is kicking off our June 7-day tour right now.
Woohoo!
They'll see Panama City tomorrow and start working their way to our town cross country until Tuesday. They'll be here in Boquete.
And I get my monthly beach day on Monday. I will go out and meet them there. Cool. Everyone's just piling in right now. The numbers are going up. Hey, Peter Greensboro. Or you're Peter from Greensboro. There we go.
Gotta be.
Richmond, Virginia. Go Oilers. Hey, Dave.
Carter.
Hey, Carter, how are you?
Did you make it home?
Yep, tell us if you're home and safe. You were supposed to text us. We had coffee with Carter yesterday in Boquete. We drove halfway across the country. So, Calgary, right on. There's more of us.
Our turn next. Get down to Las Tablas.
Bob and Aileen. Carter, you're going to meet Oscar and the gang on Saturday. Cool. All right, so we're going to get started pretty quick here, guys. This is our one of our general Q&As, meaning ask anything you want about Panama. All about Panama, please. And once we get going, first we're going to introduce ourselves, but you can ask your questions two ways. You can type them in the chat, just type the question in the chat, or you can type the word live and we will bring you, live on the screen to ask your question with us. We'd love to meet some of you guys. So, Elizabeth, can't wait to have you in October. A gray screen, Teresa. Let's ask. Teresa's asking, are you seeing us, guys, or are you seeing a gray screen?
Melanie, you'll have to move over to StreamYard in order to go live. You're on YouTube right now, but in the description, you should see the StreamYard link. And if you come over here, we'll be able to tell by the little icon.
Yeah, I can't bring the Facebook and YouTube people live. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. Okay, no, people see us. So I would suggest, Teresa, if you can exit out and click on the link again, come back in. That might work for you. So we're going to go, for those of you who don't know who we are, and there obviously are people that don't know who we are going to quickly, in 30 minutes or less, tell you everything we are, and we're going to do a timeshare condo promotion. That's kidding. We don't do that. Okay.
My bio isn't that long.
Yeah.
So I'm Megan. I'm our operations director here at Retire in Panama. I'm originally from Pennsylvania and moved here to Panama in 2018 with the Peace Corps. So originally did that for about 2 years. Got to visit a lot of small towns throughout Panama. Got to learn a lot about the Panamanian culture and do some really interesting development work. And then met my husband Oscar and moved to Boquete, where him and Rod were based, and now where we're all based. And started doing Retire in Panama tours with him. So got to learn a lot about the expat communities here and that whole other side of Panama life. And now I spend most of my time here. I have a 2.5-year-old here in Boquete. Still love to go travel around the country when I get a chance, but I spend a lot of my time making sure that all of our tour guests are ready to come to Panama, come on tour with us, help them with any extra planning they need if they're spending extra time here, and then helping our tour guests or our Panama Total Access Pass members to plan their move here and making sure that everything in their move goes smoothly, and then just getting to enjoy having them here once they move.
Cool. My name is Rod Larrabee. I'm from Vancouver, Canada. I moved here in 2011, so that was a long time ago. And I've never looked back. I love it here, everything about it. And so long, Canada. I still love my Canada. So, but anyways, so like Megan said, like Oscar, like Megan said, is on tour. That's Oscar and Megan's husband. And Oscar and I met about 3 months into my move into Panama, which did not go well in the beginning. I did it the hard way. I did it without knowing anybody. We didn't have much information online about how to do it. I made a lot of mistakes. I had the wrong people helping me. It was costing me a fortune. I was pretty frustrated. I was almost ready to go home. And I was referred to Oscar by multiple people. Oscar and I were both in the same city at Boquete. Oscar had been here already 3 or 4 years. He was already helping expats move to Panama. And so I gave him a call. He got me fixed up and connected with the right people and all worked out. And within the year, we were best friends and business partners. And we started with a small business in town, which was focused on tourism in Boquete. But what we found, we actually had a storefront with employees, like the whole thing. But we found we're expats walking in the door looking for help. How do I get a good lawyer? Or I gave a lawyer a retainer and I can't find them now. Or I bought a piece of land and I don't know what to do now. Or this is screwed up. Or how do I renew my title of my car? Just constant thing after thing. People were walking in there. So ended up doing a business of fixing fires. And we talked about it and we said, we don't like to do this. Why don't we start this company? A company that can take people from where they are at home in their home country and bring them to Panama the right way without making any mistakes. And we do that through our 7-day cross-country small group tour. And we do that through our 3-day Cherokee Highlands tour. For those of you who already know you want to live in the Boquete Volcan David Triangle. So we do that. And then now we do it through our Panama Total Access Pass. There are many of you that don't need a tour because you've already been here. You already know where you want to move, or you just don't like other people. No, just kidding. You don't want a group tour for whatever reason. We now can help you out with our book. Yes, it's a real. That's not a fake image of a book. It's a real one with a members area, lifetime access members area, and talk about the whole process. And this is limited quantity of this product are sold. We're getting low already this month. We had 2 sales today alone. The gold is $497. The platinum is $997. Look in the chat at the link, and we sell 10 of these every month because we work. A lot of people tell me, well, why don't you just sell as many, like 100 a month? Well, we just can't sell. We need to support these people, and we're certainly not going to support them by connecting them with new people here because new people here don't know how to do it right yet, folks. I'm sorry, you don't. And
the members area is the area to book your one-on-one call with us, and that's us doing those calls, making sure you have everything set up and ready for your move. And yes, if you come on a tour,
preview.
You get all of that.
Yes.
So if you come on a tour, you get the members area, you get the book.
That's right. You get it all. Oops. Sorry, I got to take the banner off. So in your members area, you're not going to see this fast. No screenshotting. You got all these little sections. They take you to other pages and sections with all the contacts for everything you would need to know, and it goes on and on and on and on. That's as far as you get for a freebie tonight. So basically everything, like from how to do immigration to where to board your dog.
Yeah, and
Everything
we're
we can help you with.
still building it out as questions come up and
Mhm.
adding all those good contacts in there.
Okay, where are we?
You just have to add us
Oh,
back.
thank
There we go.
you.
Here we are.
Okay, now from this point, I know I might have been a bit hard that new people should never answer questions. You know why? Because typically you've done your immigration once, you've done your health insurance once, you've got your driver's license once. We have done those things hundreds and hundreds of times. So we have come across the problems that can happen. Yours might have gone completely smooth and perfectly, but that doesn't mean your immigration lawyer is the absolute best. We've been doing this 14 years now. Oscar 15.
Yeah.
So
It's more for those really special, specific contacts because we really appreciate our new guest perspectives. We always invite them out to meet our tour guests, whether they've been here 6 months or a few years. And our guests, it's one of their favorite parts of the tour because they get to hear what is their social life like, what was the process like moving here, and they get to pick their brains and learn a lot from them. It's just that. And if they went with everybody we went with, great. But yeah, those really important contacts are going to make all the difference. Like moving people, immigration people, insurance, reliable realtors or rentals agents. Those are really important to make sure you don't, you have a smooth landing. We don't want anybody to get into any troubles and feel jaded about the people here.
Exactly.
There's not perfect people anywhere.
Mm-hmm. So that's why I have at the bottom questions only in the chat. We don't need help answering the questions. Well, if we do, we'll ask because we might. Well, actually, sometimes we don't have the answer, but we call a professional and we get back to you. So, but I'm going to start with. I thought I missed one.
We did. There was one.
You're going to handle this. I'm going to go back and get the other one. Yeah.
Richard. Hey, David, asking for my wife, who is a fan of heat but not super high humidity. Which towns in the Panamanian Highland areas have the lowest humidity? Thanks. So it's the Highlands are all very humid. It's a lot of rain, but it doesn't feel as humid as the beach towns because it's cooler temperature. The driest area with the least rain would be the Azuero Peninsula area, from Azuero, Tennessee, up even into Coronado and the beaches area. It's considered the dry arc. And that would be the lowest humidity, although it is still humid because we're in the tropics. Mm-hmm. But that is hotter area. So if she likes hot and dry, the dry arc might be good for her. The Highlands, very humid, but don't feel as humid because it's cooler.
Yeah, there's a term, and I only discovered recently why a lot of people, when I say it, don't understand it. It's called humidex, the humidex factor. It's actually a Canadian phrase. I had no idea. It was coined by some Canadian weatherman, and he's got a formula for it, and it actually works. So if you are in, let's say the humidity is 80% and the temperature is 75 degrees, it still feels like 75. But if the temperature, if you're at 80% humidity and the temperature is 90, it feels like 98. It's that feeling, and when the skin starts to sweat, it doesn't happen here. Like right now, it's been raining for 2 hours. We've had a rainy afternoon. Start of the rainy season. All my windows are open. The dehumidifier hasn't kicked in. I have it set to 70, so that's my comfort level. So it's not bad, but if the temperature was the temperature is only 75 degrees, so it just doesn't feel as bad in the house.
You still need good ventilation, dehumidifiers,
ventilation is good. Fans,
or AC anywhere in the country.
Elizabeth, U.S. domicile address if living in Panama. Hey, Elizabeth, you should have a U.S. address for mailing purposes and stuff like that. It shouldn't necessarily be P.O. Box, like you said, but there are services here the mail forwarding redirection companies that use physical addresses. They just have a special code that looks like an apartment code or something. So that's what we use. So mine is, well, almost all of them are in Miami, and my letters go there. They get forwarded to me here within 4 days. I can also order packages that get shipped there and they get sent here. So it's not residential, but it's not a PO box. And yes, it works with the IRS and Social Security and stuff like that because it's a physical building address with a suite number.
Yeah, I don't know if it's clear from her question. If that didn't answer it, feel free to follow up and let us know exactly what you're wanting to use your U.S. address for.
Yeah, she said no PO box. It's probably Social Security and things like that.
Yeah, you can keep a U.S. address. There's nothing wrong with doing that.
Yeah, you definitely need for mail, for your banks. You got to replace your cards, stuff like that. So you need a U.S. address. Okay.
Hey, Richard and Terry. When are you guys
again.
coming down here? Can you please review the process for getting Panama driver's license? How soon after arriving for visa applications? So as soon as you apply for your visa, you get your temporary residency card. Your foreign driver's license is no longer valid in Panama. As a tourist, you can drive in Panama for up to 90 days. But as soon as you apply for residency, you have to get a Panamanian driver's license by law. So there are two routes to get it. Either get your foreign driver's license authenticated at your embassy or consulate, and then also get a stamp from the Foreign Affairs Office after that. And you can take that into any search or send office here in Panama, which is like our DMV, and a few other things, and you can get it that way. Or if you don't want to go the authentication route, it's the easiest way. If you're planning on going into Panama City, doing your residency, just go at the same time, get your embassy appointment, get it done. If you're Canadian, you can even just send it into them. You don't have to go in person. But say you're already settled somewhere else in the country, you don't feel like going that route. You can do it the same way the Panamanians get their driver's license. You have to get a certificate from a driving school and then do a multiple choice and a driving test. And they're both pretty easy. Mm-hmm. Multiple choice you can take in English. Driving test is just 3 parking maneuvers.
So chapter 61 in the book is preparing for your driver's license. What Megan said, but it's a few more pages in a stress shell. And in the members area, it's also all the details are included there with the links that you need for the authentications and for the driving schools and stuff.
If you guys are using the lawyer that we recommended to you, they can also support you in the authentication process.
Perfect. Okay. Like Lisa, they got their book and it's awesome.
Yay.
I had to get the book, and the next day I read the whole thing. Okay, it's 460 pages. Did you really? Yeah, they did. Okay. Okay, let's look at this visa. Mercedes, great question. Doesn't come up a lot, but it is an option for many of you. It's called the professional visa. First of all, what the professional visa is, it is typically designed for Panama to import the best of the best from around the world. They actually want people with bachelor's and master's in fields that are not competitive against the 25 protected professions in Panama. So it has to be a degree that's not part of the protected professions in Panama. I'm not going to list all those off. Google protected professions in Panama. You'll see a list. It's basically medical, architects, stuff like that. But if you have a degree in computer science, if you have a degree in general studies, what's it called? A degree in language. What are your degrees in, Megan?
You're just thinking of general degrees, international development, communication, something like that.
Okay, both of those would qualify. See, Megan would qualify for this visa. She didn't need it. But so what the visa is, you have to, and it's easy to get if you're within 5-10 years of graduating. Some of us are not quite that young anymore and would have to go back 30 years, which makes it more difficult to get.
Or go back to school.
Yeah. What has to happen is you have to have your degree, they call it homogenized, nothing to do with the milk, but authenticated by the University of Panama. And so what you're going to need are copies of your transcripts, and the course data from when you took the degree, okay? And the two have to match. So you have to have taken all the courses. So they're going to look at a similar course. Let's say they're looking at communications in Panama at what the University of Panama does. And then they compare what you took to what they're teaching. Yeah, okay, this person kind of learned the same thing and they homogenize and stamp and do all this stuff. This whole process can take up to a year. It's between you and the university. The lawyers don't even get involved besides telling you who to call, basically, and who to send the information to. If you have a simple degree, like a master's in business or something like that, seems to be simpler than a engineering. Well, you can't do engineering. I was trying to think of one that someone. Okay, forget it. If you have a simple degree, it's a little easier, but the longer it is, the harder it is to get your transcripts and the course description from that time. So, anyways, that is all that is needed. It's a 2-year process. If the university says yes, you go through a lawyer, you apply. There is no investment required. And then you go through the process, and you're supposed to look for a job in that field. Now, there's nothing in the visa that says you have to have a job for the second part. You still got to be in the country, though, supporting yourself. That's why it can't be in a protected profession, because they're thinking you're going to work. I know many people that have just never got a job yet, or they started a consulting company of their own and started working there. So it is an option for those of you who aren't yet retired and don't want to invest $200,000 into the country. And for those of you that have been advised correctly that you can't just start a corporation and hire yourself on the Friendly Nations visa. So that's where the professional visa comes in. We've had our attorney help a couple people through so far this year on the professional visa. If you're interested, please just reach out to us on our website, contact us field. I'll put the link in the chat, and we'll see if we can help you out. Okay, I like to delete the questions. Eric, 2 questions. Nope, you only got 1.
I'm interested in reserving a slot for a 7-day tour and would like to potentially stay a month afterwards to explore. Is this post-tour stay something you can assist me with? For example, rentals, activities, and such. Second question, is TRICARE accepted to Panama? Easy answers, yes and yes.
There we go. Yes, Oscar and Megan have a extra room in the house they can rent you. No problem. We don't need to know who you are.
That's my expertise. I will help you plan your extra stay. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of people come on tour and do that.
Now, depending where you're going in the country, TRICARE for Life, and FMP, stuff like that. There's different in Boquete and David and Panama City. In the major centers, there are places that bill directly, like the places I just mentioned. So, yes, there are many options for you here. And we always help our guests with their before and after stays. There's no problem at all. We'll do recommendations. Recycling. I used to.
Yeah, no home pickup for recycling, unfortunately. And depending on the town, sometimes recycling isn't available. They've just had a hard time finding where to send it to.
Yeah, it's been running for a few years. Like, we're going to comment on Boquete here. I know Cornwall has their own program, but it's been running. It was running for a few years, good, and then the place in Costa Rica stopped taking it. And for me, it wasn't very open either. No one would tell you where the stuff was going, so That's not really recycling if you're just shipping your garbage to another country. Who knows what they're doing over there? And then it just it hasn't worked well yet. We hope and we will support anyone that wants to do it better. Okay. Whole turkey. There's still some Thanksgiving turkeys left over in Baru.
Hey, Matt. Yeah, of course you can buy a whole turkey. That's so funny that you had this special order. Yeah, maybe not just anywhere, but like any of the major towns, and definitely around Thanksgiving and Christmas.
And all year round, the bigger meat places have it, like the House of Ham and places like that. They always have little turkey. I love turkey. I'm just not successful cooking it.
That's my job.
David, we're okay when it rains and cool. We're raised in Seattle. Hey, I came from Vancouver, buddy. I can feel you. It's not that type of rain here, guys, though, at all. We are in June. The rainy season always comes in like a lion, so it's been a little bit rainy, but the mornings are just incredibly beautiful, and like always.
Yeah, like beautiful, sunny, for until noon at least.
Yeah, but typically in the early rainy season, like it is now, it will be sunny and then partly cloudy by noon, and then by 3 o'clock, some threatening, maybe some rumblings in the background of lightning and thunder, rumblings of lightning, and then we'll get a rain shower, but not even every day. So.
Hey, Timothy, do you recommend buying a dehumidifier before moving down or just buy one in Panama? I've heard the ones down there are prone to fail quicker than the ones from the U.S.
I haven't heard. I've had one for years.
Me too.
I've never had a problem with them. No. Don't forget, they're designed for here. They got auto restart and all that stuff set up, even the electronic models, if the power goes off, so they come back on.
We only run ours full time, maybe a couple months a year. Other than that, in rainy season, just here and there. But we bought ours secondhand, and we've had it for 5 years now.
Yeah. No, we got some great names. We got Frigidaire. We got mine's a Frigidaire. So we got some good name brands here.
Mm-hmm.
No problem. Bring it, buy it here, and they're very inexpensive. 140 to 190, depending on the model you want and the capacity. Mine are the ones that drain outside, so you punch a hole in the wall and just let it drain. But really, I hardly ever use mine. If I had a full day, let's say there was a hurricane in the Gulf and we were getting all the rain remnants, the outer bands, then I might have it on for a week or two.
Yeah, we use more fans. Raymond, what area has the nicer beaches that are considered sandy swimming beaches? Most of the Pacific coast, I would say. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Outside of Panama City to the west, almost beaches all along the whole Pacific coast. And then as far as the Caribbean side, the biggest place is Bocas del Toro.
The sand can be a little darker south of Valle de Antone, like in the Coronado area, stuff like that, because it's a bit more volcanic sand, or south of David. But, when you get to Las Lajas, Santa Catalina, Rio Hato, stuff like that, it's all really nice. Yeah. Somebody's mentioning, since they didn't answer a question, but they answered correctly, yes, the Tricare I'm talking about that's available in Boquete, David, and Panama City, is they build Tricare. There are other places in the interior that you can submit your Tricare bills. But there's even a doctor that sees Tricare FMP patients like that and bills direct here in Boquete. There are several in Panama City. I have not heard, if anyone lives in Coronado right here and knows if any of your doctors and clinics there are building, because there was one, then they stopped. So I just wanted to know if they're back. So you can answer. Okay. Good question. Cheryl.
I would do absolutely anything for my animals, would never put them inside baggage area of a plane. If I moved to Panama, I would want to bring them on a charter flight with me. Do you have contact for charter flight company who does flights from New York, New Jersey area? Do you know how much a shared flight would cost?
Yeah, I can tell you what a plane from New York, like it's typically, here's the number. It's about $9,000 per hour of flight and it's obviously you're paying for the return. So it's obviously not most 90% of the charters I do with pets leave Florida. It's a 3-hour flight. It's about $27,000. If you want to fly out of New York, you're looking at $50,000 for a plane. Same as California, you're looking at 75,000. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
we
crazy.
see most people
Yeah.
drive down to.
Yeah, you drive
Florida.
with your dogs, and then we can do a flight share, which I do all the time. Got one coming, landing in Rio Hato actually on Monday. 2 couples and their dogs, so they split that 27 to 13.5 each. Or you can use a service like Peril Air, Perro, that run about $8,000 for one person and their dog, which is a great alternative if you're single, if you bring in one dog. If you bring in multiple dogs, it depends on what that will cost, depending on the makeup of their current flight. But Peril Air, Perroair, or contact us. Our link is in the chat, and we'll see if I get any jet shares coming up. But they will be typically out. The only time we do something outside of Florida is with just an individual that's got a lot of cash, doesn't really care, and they're not usually shares because the numbers typically, even out of Houston, it's 40,000. So I've flown someone from Calgary. Those are 6 numbers. Okay. I think I want to get the jet. That way I can offer the service at a better
There
price.
we go.
Right?
I hear it's a good business.
I think Oscar will want to get in with me and loan me the money.
Hey, David, did I read correctly that we would obtain an import tariff waiver when we import our household goods and vehicle?
Typically, the way that's worded is a salesmanship. This is for the pensionado visa only. They list, you get a $10,000 duty exemption on your household goods and a duty exemption on an imported car. Okay. Well, used household goods rarely have any duties on them. It's a used product. They're not protecting it. If you're bringing a brand new, if you're bringing a container full of Ashley furniture from, the manifest is from Ashley, New York, and it's going to your place in Panama City, yes, you're going to pay duty and all that stuff. But if you're bringing stuff from your house and your couch $100 and your love seat's $50, you don't have to worry. It's seldom any duty on it. On the car, it can save you some money, between 15 and 20% on the value of the car. You still got to pay tax, so you got to pay a 7% and a 5% tax on your goods and a car. It's a duty exemption. It can make a difference, David. The car is very complicated because you have to have your. It's very complicated and expensive to do, so sometimes it's worth just not worrying about and paying the duty, depending on how much the car is worth, because you got to go to Panama City multiple times. You got to get a tax number to not pay the duty in your car. It's a ridiculous amount of paperwork, but can be done. Hey, Mark and Monica from Tennessee.
Hey, guys. Roy, can I use my U.S. health insurance Medicare there, or would I need to purchase insurance locally?
Yeah. Medicare Part A has no use in Panama, nothing to do with anything. Now, a Medicare Advantage plan you can use in case of emergencies only. You got to check with your supplier, your provider, of how long you can be here. Many of them restricted to 6 months, stuff like that, a year. And depending on your insurance company, like whether you got Humana or I know there's a million of them, whether the hospital will bill them direct or not. Now, this is only for emergencies. So if you, for example, let's say you moved here and recently had this happen to a guest. They moved here. They were told by somebody online, "Yeah, you don't need insurance. You use your medical advantage." They go to a doctor, and he finds out he needs a heart stent. Oh my God, I got to go. No, 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 it's not an emergency. You need a heart stent in the next month or two. Guess what? Not covered because it's not an emergency. So now he has to go back to the States, not just the state, the zip code that he claimed that he lives in, even though he no longer does, and somehow get that covered by Medicare. It's creating a little problem for himself. So my advice always is don't try to scam the government. We have health insurance here. When you deduct that $180 a month that you're paying for your Medicare Advantage, it's really not that much more expensive. And the penalties aren't huge if you decide to move back. They're like 10% a year. And the international plans here become your supplement in the States too. So you can still go back and visit and stuff like that and be fully covered.
Ian and Sue, do you know hotels in Panama City and Boquete that have a family room for 2 adults and 3 children? A lot of options. Hotels, right off the top of my head, it kind of depends what you're looking for. Like just enough beds for you all to squeeze in, or you want separate rooms. A lot of hotels will have, shared rooms.
Mm-hmm.
But the way we do it is like Airbnb a lot. But there are some hotels that will have larger, suites.
Yeah, I've seen some with the 3 beds and like some hotels.
Yeah.
You want to squeeze it in, but a 2-bedroom Airbnb would be kick-ass.
Yeah.
With maybe a couch out in the living room for the oldest.
Yeah, feel free to send me an email and let me know a little bit more what you're looking for, and I'll send some recommendations to you guys. Are you finally coming back? We'll be excited to meet the kids.
Hey, David. Same question as Sharon. Moving our pets is super important. Can you recommend the best quality of life method of importing your pets, they or cats? The absolute best. Now, Dave and Cheryl, I've been doing pet relocation 1 per week for almost the last 5 years. I got 2 this week. And I know what I'm doing there. I know I would move I've seen the entire Copa structure and their cargo. I would move my pets, and they're sacred to me. I would use Copa to move my pets. Copa knows what they're doing. They got the right ground crew with the little air-conditioned minivan. You ever pull up in Panama City or in one of Copa locations, and first thing you look outside, the first thing that pulls up is this little minivan with a little air conditioner. Yeah, that's the pet mobile or the live animal vehicle. And they got areas in the airports where they keep them. But with the cats, if they're small enough, if they're like a regular sized cat, average sized cat, they're typically under the seat. You're allowed 1 per person. So if there's 2 of you, they can be under the seat in front of you. So that's not a problem. So we offer the service. We'll have another here. And what the detail is, the whole procedure has to happen within 10 days from the USDA to the USDA signing the health certificate to the Panama consulate or notary / not notary, what's the name? Apostle, stamp. So all those things have to happen with 10 days before you fly. And if your pet's in cargo, you have to have the flight booked a long time before, and then 10 days before you get hold of the cargo. There are certain vaccines for cats and certain vaccines for dogs. You can look at here. I'm going to send you the pet relocation. Why can't I see it? And there's an actual article here on how to do the whole thing by yourself. Or we offer a service. We charge $350 for the first pet, $100 for the next one, and a discount for 3 or more. And we'll walk you through the entire step for the 60 days before you go, making sure the vaccines are right, getting on calls, and making sure you're organized and everything, making sure you got the right USDA vet, and how to get to the right airport that takes pets and cargo, all that stuff. Okay.
We're about 20 minutes piano questions, so we might want to go a little bit quicker.
Okay.
Quality.
Oh, it's the 50 per notary signature, and you need to make an appointment to ballot.
I think he was answering when we were going through driver's license things.
Oh. Okay, sorry. Over a year ago, I purchased an electronic version of Keys. What? Of key things to know before moving to Panama. It was awesome. We also have info resources that people needing special healthcare needs on.
We have info resources for people needing healthcare and hospice.
We do talk about it on our website and several of our healthcare blogs.
Yeah. Kind of depends where in the country you are.
Yeah.
Mark and Alyssa, do you recommend a broker for a new car purchase? Yes. So typically the dealer will recommend you a car insurance plan, but we tell you it's better to go.
I think a broker, she's asking a broker to buy the car.
Oh, to purchase.
I bought right from the dealer. Oscar now.
Oscar has supported a lot of people to go straight.
We do know specific salespeople and specific dealerships.
Yes.
That we like.
Yeah, the most popular ones. And then but a lot of times there isn't somebody that speaks English, so Oscar will do the facilitation for that.
Yeah. Most have at least one that speak English, and if you buy a car from a dealer, like a big name dealer, like the price of the car includes the registration, includes everything. So you'll just be fine. Online school.
Yeah, Annie, I think you're asking for a recommendation for online homeschooling for elementary school. It really varies. There's a lot of options. So unfortunately I can't just recommend one. But there are a lot of homeschool resources out there, and there's a lot of groups in Panama with families that homeschool, and they get together and do activities and co-op type things. But the program you go with really varies by family.
Mm-hmm. Traveler's insurance. Sometimes when you're booking your flight, there's a thing right on there, buy traveler's insurance. There's you can buy any of the online places that sell traveler's insurance when you're coming here. Mm-hmm. So we have a broker here that sells international travel insurance, and contact us and we'll send you her link.
Yeah, it really varies by your needs.
Without complaint, from application approval of the pension annual visa, 5 months. Yeah, 5.5 months tops. Mm-hmm. That answers quick, right? Medicare is not valid overseas. Hey, Kevin, thank you for the answer. But Megan, your sweater is beautiful. Where can I get one?
Thank you. I think I got it from Natural Life.
It's registering a U.S. vehicle in Panama. A U.S. vehicle in Panama expensive. Oh, well, it's not registered, David. You're looking at, if you're not a pensionable, you're looking at between 12 and 30% duties and taxes. If you are a pensionable, you're looking at 12% duty. You're looking at minimum $3,000 to ship it here if you live in Miami. And that's about a roll-on, roll-off price. You're looking at customs fees. And then the whole licensing process, once it's registered, it's not a big deal. But it's got to go to what they call the DEJOTA, which is the criminal police force for inspection, and all those things have fees. So it's thousands of dollars to import a car here, yes. But after a year has gone by, when you go to register your vehicle next year, it's like $36. Okay. I'm not deleting anymore.
Any benefits for military retirees?
In Panama, do we have benefits? Nothing special besides
just the same pension.
Well, we have some, the same pensional visa, but in Panama they have several different VA type services set up here for U.S., like the VA pharmacies and hospitals and stuff like that.
More like healthcare things.
Champ VA, yes. also. And why? No, because Dr. Shannon takes it in her office up the street here. Okay, CHAMP and FMP.
How long has it been taking to process the
Okay,
pensionado visa? About 4
That
6
was
months.
asked twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, 46 months. We have Humana, we're getting indeed no. Major hospitals, some will take, there's one in Debbie, that is, two in Panama City, and more are on emergencies only. You better be bleeding when you go in there. Okay. No, like seriously, like we keep hearing stories that people are coming in because it's up to the hospital before the hospital pays for it and not take your credit card. They have to make sure they know you are having an emergency, and they got to make sure your insurance is valid. That process itself can take 30 minutes to an hour. So if you are here on medical advantage, let's say you just moved here and you don't have health insurance yet, it's a transition period, I recommend you go register Cherokee Hospital. If you're in Boquete, go register at Pacific Salud or the other one in Panama City. You go register your insurance with them. So when you walk in that door at an emergency, they type in your name. Oh, no, his insurance is good. Let's go. Because no hospital is going to take you on the assumption that they're going to get paid back. They want to know. Veterinary technician.
Are there any animal shelters in Boquete, David area that conduct low-cost spay-neuter surgical clinics?
Absolutely, David.
Yeah.
Would love you.
For sure.
Once a month, you'll be the rock star at the, what's it called? The
Amigos de Animales,
Amigos de
spay-neuter
Animales
clinic.
spay and neuter clinic. They spay and neuter hundreds of dogs on a monthly basis, tens of thousands, hundreds and hundreds of dogs. This is crazy, the number.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there are a dog camp always needs help with vets and stuff like that. Dog camp fosters about 85 dogs at a time, and they get them into homes and stuff like that. So to bring my small dog, nope, they should fit on the plane as long as you go to. I put the link in the website. Sorry, in the chat. Retiring Panama Tours. Just look for the pet relocation. There's an article in there that shows you how to do it. It has to be a degree, not a diploma. It must be a bachelor's or a master's degree. You start with the attorney first, and they're going to advise you on which ones they are getting accepted and which ones they're not. Because there are certain ones that are harder to get accepted here, and certain ones that are fairly easy. Bachelor's of Education, I've heard, is pretty easy. And that's not the teachers. That's the general one I was thinking of.
And
sorry, Bachelor's of Science. Yeah,
to make the transition before finding a school for primary children, do you have any interesting websites for online schooling? No. But there, I mean, yeah, there's just so many different resources out there.
Yeah, the online school was the actual school that Phoenix went to, right?
Yeah, I think she's talking more homeschooling options.
I would just keep her in your U.S. course until they find something here.
Yeah, but I think she's saying switching out of a school into online schooling. But yeah, it really varies by family, what they want to choose based on their lifestyle, their calendar, their wherever they're from. But there's a lot of groups online for online and homeschooling groups. If you want to reach out to us and tell me a little bit more about you guys, maybe I can point you in the right direction.
Okay, on a few prescriptions, and one is an opiate, it's a problem getting refills in Panama. You cannot get a refill in Panama on a U.S. prescription. And by the way, 90% of drugs in the U.S. that require prescriptions don't require them here. The only ones that do require prescription are opioids, psychotropes, there's a better name for it, I can't think of it, and antibiotics. Everything else doesn't require a prescription. Now, if you need opiates here, opioids, you're going to have to see a pain management specialist here to get a prescription for them. A lot of people ship their, find ways to ship their medicines from the U.S.
Yeah, and there can be issues also with actually like having it in stock here.
Yes. Yeah, especially on the opioid side. They don't prescribe a lot of opioids here, like on a regular basis.
Or any really mind-altering medications.
3 day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think it's time for a dog relocation Q&A, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry,
all my wonderful fellow dog friends, I'm posting the article, How to Move Your Pet from Panama from the U.S. to Canada. Read that. There's a contact link for me if you have specific questions or if you want some help.
Yeah. Also, our gold total access pass, you'll get our book, which has a huge chapter that walks you through every step.
Even more detail in the book. I want people to be able, because the number of people going on, I didn't really want to start a pet relocation business. So it's almost enough business to do it. It's crazy. I'm at retirement age. My wife is 40 from the Philippines. Would she be allowed to immigrate there?
Yeah. If you guys are married, you can apply together. If you have a lifetime pension of, it would be $1,250 because it's $1,000 for you. If you're a dependent, it would have to be $1,250 lifetime monthly pension.
Yeah.
Then she can come with you.
And yes, there's many Filipinos living in Panama.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful people. Mm-hmm.
Howard and Shelley, are there any mandatory vaccines? Yay. No mandatory vaccines.
Absolutely none. See you next week, James. It's hard to find. Is it hard? It's hard to.
No, this is Kevin. He's not doing questions. He's just doing comments and answers. It's hard to find mechanics.
Yeah, but there was no question or anything about
who can work on you.
Okay, Kevin.
Kevin.
Questions only in the chat, please, Kevin. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Also, I would agree. Work on your cars. Yeah. Some people do have issues with mechanics or any good contacts in Panama, unless you have us. Then we can point you in the right direction.
Okay, Belinda, this is a contentious issue. By the way, the over 50, do you have first of all, do you have a visa? Do you have a permanent visa? You technically require a permanent visa to get the pensional discounts. Women over 55, men over 60. Now, if the woman is paying for her and her husband, only she's going to get the visa. Okay. Number two is the law states that the booking must be from Panama to somebody else, somewhere else, and back. Okay. It can't be to Panama and back. But COPA is very flexible on that. Now, you can only get the booking before you pay for it. So if you've already booked it, nope, they're not going to give you credit because it states right on the site. What you're supposed to do is put the booking on hold. They have the 24-hour lock. Then you phone their customer service. And the very first time, they will get you to email them your pensional card, your fill out this form, swear this affidavit, do all that stuff. You never have to do it again. But the very first time they will deduct the 25% from the base fare, and then they will do the credit card processing with you. Mm-hmm. So you can try it with them if you're going from Houston to Panama City. And most agents have been letting people do it, but the law is stated the flight must originate in Panama. But COPA is very friendly with the pensional discount. Okay. See, we're almost catching up, Megan.
Getting there. Are there Spanish-speaking classes in most cities?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Diana, do I understand correctly that medical marijuana is legal in Panama?
No, you don't.
Well, yeah. Yeah, so it was legalized, but there's been no system put in place.
There's no availability yet.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there has been some talk, like it was in the newsroom Panama, that some cancer patients have been receiving that in hospital in Panama City. But the dispensaries, the growers have been awarded. They haven't started growing yet, and they haven't quite figured out the dispensary system. So,
And how
I said,
doctors are.
why don't you
prescribing.
grow it first, and then you'll figure out the dispensary because you'll have a crop to worry about. How do you purchase the book without the membership? Sherry, there's no purpose in the book besides if you just want to learn a little bit about the history and culture of Panama. Pretty well everywhere in the book, there's going to be see your members area for this and this and that. The book is the history and the theory behind it. The members area are the contacts that actually help you do it. So we don't separate the two of them. The two go hand in hand together. Mm-hmm. And the three go hand in hand together. The book, the members area, and Oscar, Megan, and myself, the ability to ask us questions at 24/7. No, just kidding. Ask us questions and get answers as quick as possible. Megan,
And you
retirement
explain a
visa.
bit
I'm going
about
to
the
back up a little
retirement
bit as
visa.
you answer this. Sorry for interrupting.
Yes. So the Pensionado visa is the most popular visa in Panama and a lot of the world for North Americans because it's super affordable. It's so friendly. All you need, the requirement is a lifetime pension of at least $1,000 a month for a single or $1,250 a month for a married couple or a person with a dependent. So it's super easy to get. It's a lifetime residency. Even, the government fees are waived. So all you have to worry about is your legal fees. And it also comes with pensionado discounts. So the retiree discounts that all of the Panamanians get when they reach a certain age here. So I think we have those somewhere listed on our website, but it's
Yes.
an amazing discount program. It includes flights, restaurants, even some hotels, a lot of different good stuff. So, I think that's the major points.
It's the easiest and least expensive visa of any country you'd want to live in the world. Like literally, I've not found one, and I've asked around and I've done my research. It's nothing. It's like for a couple, it's $2,500 to $3,000 one time permanent visa. You never ever have to worry about it. So, okay. Mark, yes, Oscar has your copy of the book with him. Woohoo.
Yep. He'll have it in
Got your
hand
name on
soon.
it. Yeah, there we go. All right, guys. We are at the end of questions.
Those are good
before they
questions
start-
tonight.
Yes. We did rapid fire.
I
too,
love
so
our
we got
YouTube,
done.
Facebook crowd coming in too.
Woohoo. Okay. All righty, guys. Thank you again for joining us. And please use the links that we shared. You get any questions or any particular thing you're concerned about?
Yeah, you can go to
you can
our
find it
Facebook
on our
or
website.
YouTube. Our all of our video replays live on there,
And
you can see the links in
if
the
you
comments.
really want to move the right way, I can't, you're not going to take a tour. Panama Access Pass is probably for you for $500. We'll walk you through the whole process.
Yeah.
And I think I just saw a notice in our email. There's 4 left this month. We only, like I said, it's limited sales per month because we have to help people. Perfect. All right, guys.
Thanks,
Super
everyone.
night. See ya next
Bye.
Thursday. Same time, same place.